influence the ground, and they don't blow their own trumpets.
Give them to me.
7. Okay, well, introduce it, Damien.
Okay, welcome to the Georg Rockall-Schmidt show. With me, not Georg Rockall-Schmidt. Oh, it's not fucking Georg Rockall-Schmidt show. It's Sans Hosen. Fuck's sake.
Woo, woo, woo. Oh, I thought we were doing a rap there. It's not the fucking Georg Rockall-Schmidt show.
Wiki wiki scratch yo yo bang bang.
That's
Adam is
what
glad
it
for
sounds like. Don't forget to let everyone know that you are rapping right now.
Of course, I'm the gentleman rhymer.
Hi.
Good
I know.
evening.
How are you doing?
I'm sorry, was that to me or the audience?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say how are you doing and then leave it there
Okay.
for them to answer.
Oh, we should do reaction noises for the next hour or so. Because I'm sure whatever
We'll
they
just
tell
do
us is
Ooh.
gripping.
Are they still a thing? Reaction videos?
Of course they are, but
When you say that, are you just assuming that?
of course I'm just assuming that. I'm not looking at the shit.
Okay.
But I imagine,
Yeah.
if they made money for somebody at some point, it's so easy to do. I don't think they're ever going to leave it alone, even if it becomes less profitable.
All that needs to happen for reaction videos to go away is for just a number of actually interesting people to start doing it. Right? Because if Brian Blessed started to do reaction videos, they're the only reaction videos anybody ever needs to watch.
Yes.
all the reaction videos I've seen, like of Jinx and people like that, it's just like some normal person going, at something that would make you go, But I want a lunatic reacting.
Yes, yeah, I think they should do those things.
I want Gary Busey doing reaction videos, and Gary Busey and what he's reacting to. To him, it is astounding.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised that Gogglebox has been a thing for so many years, but if you're going to run with something like that, I mean, I have no taste for it, but set it up in like a penitentiary somewhere. So we've just got these inmates watching TV and to see how they react to it. Absolutely fucking mental, with a delightful shanking in the background or something. That I could get on board with. See, that as a concept for TV actually offers something, but kind of bog standard reaction stuff, I don't get it. To be perfectly honest.
So we're going straight into the subject today, as we do every time. We're talking about dystopian reality TV. So your idea, what you're saying then, is Noel Edmonds comes out into a group of inmates who are all watching like a 13-inch screen, and he's like, "All right, lads, got a bit of softcore pornography for you today."
He comes out
all
dressed
we
as
see
Frankfurter
all we
as well.
see is these people's faces and the noises of what's on screen.
No, he's got the
And
facade
it's
of a
clearly
TV show.
it's never said, but it's clearly Noel Edmonds humping away
No,
because these people are not into it.
why would they be? No. It's nothing like that. It's the TV is merely like a facade for the network. No, this is like Noel Edmonds a la fucking Rocky Horror. So he's there in like a teddy with stockings, all this kind of stuff, baiting people with
teddy?
like a basketball. It'd be called the fucking lingerie. I don't know.
Right.
But he's just there baiting.
Clitoris.
He's just baiting them with like a feather duster and what have you. Dropping a lot
the boa.
of feather boa, dropping a few pennies along the way and taking his time picking them up. Oh yeah.
So he's in like full drag, is he?
Yeah, why not? I think so.
Yeah. I mean, come on, these prisoners, they've been inside for years. They've not seen a woman for years. Let's give them it all. Let's get him proper tarted up, is what we're saying.
Let's give them everything you can get in a human being.
Yeah.
We're going to cover all
We
the
want
bases.
a hairy chest and massive tits. Wang? He's got 3 wangs.
And for why? All right, so yeah,
It's to
this is
make Noel Edmonds
dystopian
the
future, right? So
ultimate sexual being.
but this isn't just Rocky Horror fucking Noel Edmonds. This is Rocky Horror Toxic Avenger Noel Edmonds.
Right.
So yeah, triple
So
wang
what-
fucking danger here.
Yeah. And then the whole show, you never see any of this. This is all just implied.
Oh yeah, it's
You
all
just see
reaction
their
videos. You just see
reactions
these
to-
people
yeah.
looking fucking terrified as toxic Noel Edmonds just peels another layer of flesh to reveal another immaculate facade of Noel Edmonds underneath. How many times can he peel off his own face and it regrow back? Find out after the break.
This isn't even my final form, Blobby. And that's what his final form is. It's Blobby.
Oh dear. But it's like the
And
blob
we
as
definitely
well.
talked about how terrifying Blobby was.
Yes, yeah. Well, was that on the show? Or was that just at some point we were like, do you remember how fucked up Mr. Blobby was?
I called you in the middle of work. I've just been thinking how fucking weird Mr. Blobby was. And I used to own a Blobby Vision VHS.
I never saw that stuff, but I would have nightmares where all I could hear weren't his screams, just the noises he would fucking make. How they fucking made
Yes.
that noise, I do not know, but it's fucking odd. I mean, I don't see how that would inspire anything other than unease in someone, especially a child. There's nothing friendly about it.
There's nothing friendly about it. He sounded sort of slightly pained as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it was absolutely terrifying. I mean, as well, you know, it always looked like Mr. Blobby was like 8 feet tall.
Yes.
Right? He was always very tall.
Hang on 1 second. No, it's
I have
just
to
a
look
dog.
this up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It's just the dog's back in and they're making fucking noise. No,
That's all right.
Well, I don't know. It's awkward. It's spoiling a bit of a flow, actually. But there you go. I know that it's going to be like this. She's obviously on fucking one. She's definitely awake. The others are all fucking chilling out, but they haven't been leaving me alone since I got back, you know, which is quite sweet, in all fairness. They know I'm not here for very long. They've kind of sussed that out now with these visits, but it's just inconvenient at this
Damien's
point.
talking about his children, by the way, for the uninitiated.
I suppose, yeah, why would you not cut this out? That's fine. It makes no odds to me.
Because that would require effort.
Oh, of course, yes,
And
what am I
this is,
thinking, yeah.
At best, filler content.
Oh,
As we
then
know,
fuck.
because the word podcast appears in its title.
Well, then in that
George.
case, I won't make any effort when the dogs come back in, and they can enjoy the bizarre breathing noises in the background.
Did you ever hear Lou Reed's, I think it was like his 4 LP Metal Sounds album?
No, what the fuck is this?
It's this, like really big, like double-sleeved LP from Lou Reed that I seem to remember he did in the 80s. I don't know, it doesn't matter. But basically, I remember having this on a shelf when I was a kid, and one day getting an LP player and listening to these old records like Lou Reed and stuff, and I was like, okay, I know who Lou Reed is now. I'm gonna listen to this because I've never heard anyone talk about this, and it's just like screeching. And he did it because he was contractually obliged to produce a record, and he was like, fuck that. And he just produced this like absolutely unlistenable shit.
Yes, I heard the same thing about Frank Zappa as well. He was with Warner Brothers. He had to produce like 3 more albums before they could release him from his contract.
That was Frank Zappa's career.
Yeah, but he made.
No, I love Frank. I love Frank Zappa.
I fucking
but
adore the man.
yeah. But I mean, I don't know. There's like 50 albums, so I couldn't guess which 3 albums you're talking about.
Well, no, I don't think that you can. You might be able to get them bootlegged and what have you, but I don't think they're really kind of. You won't really find them on in a discography or anything like that. But he just went. He produced them all overnight, and they're just farmyard sounds. He handed them in. Promptly went on tour with a big banner behind saying Warner Brothers sucks. Behind him on every show he did for that fucking tour. They can fuck right off.
It's just animal sounds. See, that's still effort. I just give them like an hour of this is what it sounds like when I watch Gilligan.
Yeah.
And it's just Gilligan in the background of the occasional bull scratch.
Yeah. I think what you should put up is just like a link to like a white noise video somewhere on YouTube. It's just 10 hours of a fan heater or something.
There you go. There's a link to my work. Never gonna give you up. But it's you doing it. Like you've remade that video shot for shot. It's clearly cost thousands.
Yes, yeah. And it's very embarrassing as well because as much as I put into
no one
it,
can sing.
No, absolutely not. I definitely can't dance, so it's terrible.
Is there dancing in that video? I don't know. I've never.
Well, there's
actually seen
some
that
kind of
video.
jiving, you know. There's a mean jive. But But yeah, I don't think I'm even capable of that these days.
These days,
These
well,
days.
like you're too old to be jiving.
Absolutely.
Jiving, it's a young man's game.
100%. I like hobbling about on one leg. That's all I can manage these days.
You're still going to those nightclubs though, doing that, like smacking girls' ankles with your walking stick. Clear off! Why do we let him in?
He was already here. He just emerges from the floorboards.
He came in for the 3 p.m. happy hour.
Don't you remember we do an afternoon tea? Or you can drink Earl Grey.
He didn't leave. Shit. I remember doing that where I went to. I think me and my friend like came back from camping, and we went to Edwards, the premier Ealing shit club. I think we went there once, if you remember. Why would you? It was a bar.
Yeah, it will have been like fucking 15 years ago. I'm not.
But it was like the sort of place that I guess it wasn't like particularly nice or anything, but they were open very late, and occasionally things could go mental and people might stab each other or whatever. And they had like this guy who looked like he was a Colombian commando who would like do tap downs, and he would wear his like black like military trousers, like tucked into the boots, not tucked in, but tied off and everything, and like super strict. And I remember going there in the day, having come back from camping, so I'd not washed for like a couple of days. I'd probably slept in the clothes I was in, and my friend had 24 beers that we had not yet drunk for some reason in his backpack, and we just sat there all day, and like it ended up with like me and him in like shorts and like gross wear with all this beer, like just like stinking and looking horrible, just surrounded with clubbers. It was awesome.
Yeah, I suppose you got in with all that beer then. That's
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Because we got in early,
Right,
there was
okay.
no one searching it anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Let's go here for a burger. There's no better place to eat a burger than a nightclub.
Of course, yeah, you're absolutely right.
So what I'm saying then is, if you want to sell drugs in nightclubs, just get there early, guys.
Clearly, yeah, great influence as usual.
Well, don't rock up at like 12:30, like, oh, yeah, woo, yeah, I'm gonna make a lot of money in here if I get in.
Well,
Please
it
come and
depends,
get in.
AM or PM, you know.
Yes. So dystopian reality TV. I mean, that's essentially what reality TV is, right, Damien?
Yes, I stay away with. I give it a wide berth, but every now and again it bleeds back into my life. Courtesy of
Does
you.
it?
Yes,
With all those
because you fucking
reality TV contests you're entering all the time.
No, I mean, well, people just force it upon you, much like you did quite recently, recommending fucking Sexy Beasts. I managed to get maybe 10 minutes into that. Explain yourself. Do you?
What do you mean recommending? I said watch it. I didn't recommend. I merely commanded that you watch some of it so one of us would be prepared. I don't know, Damien. I haven't seen it. Tell me about it.
Oh, fuck off! I know that you'll be balls deep in this.
No. I watched about 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah.
get through fucking one. Jesus, it was. See, like it's great. I guess it thought it was really clever with its gimmick, but then when you got down to it, it runs the same as any other of those incredibly vapid fucking dating shows. The fact that they're in these get-ups is not kind of remarkable at all. It doesn't actually add any kind of dimension to it. When I first read the synopsis, I must have misread it wrong. I thought when I first read it, it was talking about people that had trouble dating, like they were like socially deficient or something like that. And the only way they could kind of get over the hump is by, well, basically adopting the furry lifestyle. So I was expecting people with like borderline autism dressing up in like as bad werewolves, kind of trying to get off with each other. And I didn't get that. All I got was blind date with this elaborate makeup. And I, for one, am kind of disappointed.
Yeah, it bills itself as, or the narrator explains that at the beginning, all of us are attracted to people's looks, and looks matter more than everything to everyone. There are no exceptions to this. That's why, for the first time, we've had the idea, what if you can't see who you're talking to? Whoa, and what if you just fall in love with them for who they are, even if they are a minger? Ooh, so we've got some fucking very thick people, probably mostly from America, who've just come to London to shoot this, and that's how we've paid them too. We've got these people to go on blind date, but instead of it being blind date, they're just in bizarre, completely incongruent prosthetics. Like, and the prosthetics is kind of the best thing. Like, I'm glad there are makeup artists working.
Because at least there's some craft there.
But for me, I didn't think they'd be people with like social problems. I thought it would be more. I thought more the point is these people are really nice, but they're fucking ugly. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove that element from the dating situation, so someone can fall in love with them and then be like, "Oh, you're gross," but I've already
We're
talked to
all
you for
burn
10
victims.
Yes. You're a burn victim too. I specifically said the one thing I wanted was to not be matched with a burn victim.
Not only are my eyelids fused shut, but I'm also fused to the other contestant. We were in the same building.
I remember at school, in some bullshit citizenship class, there was some discussion at some point about disabilities and people with disabilities and how we can be more empathic to them and all of this normal bullshitty let's spend an hour doing nothing at school shit. And we started to talk about how like what's a more severe disability and why, and basically went into what's the disability you wouldn't want to live with.
Okay.
Right? So people are saying like blind or quadriplegic or whatever, and someone says dwarfism. Right?
Okay.
And the question was, okay, and they were serious, okay, that's what they say, so why? And they said, well, because if you look, dwarves only ever marry other dwarves. So I'd feel obliged to... yeah, I know. You look. People with dwarfism, I mean, they weren't saying people with dwarfism, they were going midgets. Midgets only marry other
like
midgets,
14,
and I wouldn't want to marry a midget.
I don't want that shit.
Boo! That's not very nice of them to say that.
And but the teacher entertained this kind of discussion at school? Because I imagine that much. That's kind of nuts.
I mean, listen, it was a whole class where it was Mrs. Utley sat on a table with her legs crossed, thank God. So, just going through the class going, what disability wouldn't you want to live with and why? And people saying, blindness because I enjoy looking at things. I mean, it was a DOS. It was a waste of time. Of course it was.
Yeah.
It was, stuff like, if it wasn't that, it was going to be, when we think about it, we have a lot of infrastructure in this country. What infrastructure are you thankful for, George? Bridges? Yeah, bridges are good, aren't they? They help you cross things. And,
don't use it very much, but...
Buildings, ceilings. I'm very thankful for ceilings, miss. It was that, It's just today we're doing disability.
I don't always pay attention to them, but I miss them if they weren't there. Thank you, miss. I feel like a better human being thanks to you.
I'm glad I don't have that disease that makes you shit yourself.
What, do you mean eating? No!
Why is that, George? Oh, the stigma.
Z just
the actual shitting of myself, it would be fine. But
I wouldn't want to be the new Z.
I don't like having to wash the shit off my balls.
Because if I'm going to shit myself, I'm going to be sat down. Practically sat on my balls, like normal. That's normal, right?
I'm going to let it happen. Why fight it? This happens to me 4 or 5 times a day.
I've chosen to enjoy the warmth.
This is why I got banned from Jimmy John's. This is why I can't have white furniture.
That's why I live alone.
So, Sexy Beasts.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you watched 10 minutes of it.
I'd seen everything I needed to see. I was curious to see what your
Yeah,
input.
you watched all of it, really. So what did you not like about it, Damien?
I, Uh, the people on these shows are just people that they're a form of life that I just don't understand the way they kind of talk and act. It's it's so kind of gaudy. It's disgusting.
Yeah, they've definitely picked.
Well, yeah, well, they always pick trash people
Let's
for
say
it.
very naive people.
Yeah.
Like naive. Yeah, probably not very well educated people
Yes. Yeah,
who are also very superficial.
Yep. And
They're all, they're all always talking about like, oh my god, I've always wanted to get to know someone, but I always just have sex with them.
I know. I always
Like-
make that mistake, and they never stick around after that. Don't know what I'm doing
And that-
wrong.
And the show is clearly, exploitative crap. It's not about anything. But it keeps going on about, yes, we're teaching people that it's not just looks. You should get to know people. And it's like, the problem with these people doing this isn't that they're just attracted to looks. They're like 20.
Yeah.
Like, they're just banging each other. I mean, what's the point of this, I guess? But then I watched 4 episodes of it, so there you go.
I mean,
That's the
there's
point. Filler.
got to be a degree of Schadenfreude to it, because it's not that you're looking at like these good-looking people and all this kind of stuff. There were just some lines that were just so kind of off when they're trying to flirt, and it was painful. The point that I fucking switched off, I couldn't. It was just too awkward for me to watch. So they were doing some speed dating thing, and this guy was talking about the drinks that they had in, and he's saying like, I just drink whiskey straight, it's like a man's drink, probably what your dad would drink. It's like, what the fuck were you trying to do with that fucking line?
That's a viable
odd.
dating strategy, is
Yeah.
to evoke the father, right? I've
indeed.
heard people talk about that.
But it's just
Do you know what?
odd. But to do
Your
that
dad has a cock, and I have a cock. Think about that.
especially when I'm dragging my balls across your face.
Grab your fucking coat.
Yeah, after that, I just knew there'd be more of that shit. That's what it always is when I've caught these things walking through a room, And these things make my skin crawl just a little bit too much. Some people kind of revel in watching people humiliate themselves like that. And some really twisted people are probably trying to learn something from it. But for me, oh God, no. It hurts.
It isn't speed dating. It is more like blind date, where there's one person and it alternates between who's, if it's a man or a woman. But from what I saw, it's all straight.
Right.
But it's okay. This is the woman, and there's three guys who are, going to have to be picked, or this is the man, and there are the 3 girls who are going to have to be picked. And there's a sort of assumption that the person who's doing the picking is desirable. And one of the best bits is in like episode 3, where this girl and I don't know, she's dressed as like an otter or something, and there's a guy dressed as a crocodile or a fucking waste paper basket or some shit. They just seem to have no theme at all, just whatever. He says to her, what would your friends describe you like? And she goes, oh, I don't know, probably psycho.
Oh.
And and then it goes straight back to an interview with him where he's like, what the fuck? And she picks him to leave, and he cheers. And it's like, well, that's why this doesn't work. I mean,
yeah.
Like, what if you end up like picking someone who's just not into it? Then,
I mean,
I don't know, whatever.
The only thing I would like to see in a show like this, if they were like, what's at stake had some kind of permanence to it. It's obviously these people kind of fuck.
You're getting married at the end of this.
Yeah, and you're contractually bound, and it has to be for at least like 5 to 10 years before a divorce is even viable. You are stuck with this person. You have to share a home with them and provide for them. So at that point, the competition becomes cutthroat. There's something at fucking stake. Some people don't know if they really want it. Some people are trying to find ways to deliberately fucking lose. That could be interesting, but At this point, you got people that basically just kind of meet up in a bar, hook up for, fucking 20 minutes, and then they just, as soon as the cameras are off, that's it. They won't fucking see each other again. Well, yeah, there's nothing in that. Yeah.
Did you ever hear of a show called There's Something About Miriam?
No, tell me. What is this?
I think it's from the 2000s. It was pretty famous at the time, and it was essentially a dating show.
I think I might have heard of this one. Is this the one where the model was trans or something? Used to be a man.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did that?
I mean, she was a transsexual, but she had a dick.
Right. Okay.
And also, she had been in quite a bit of pornography. It turns out. I did my own research for that. What? No. Yeah. So she was like I don't know if she did it before or after. I mean, I obviously read about this much later, but it wasn't just that she, it wasn't like, I used to be a man. It's sort of like, well, I still have a penis.
Right.
Although I do look like a sexy lady. So the full fucking package there.
Yeah, sorry. I'm Googling it right now, and it's auto-filled. And so you've got something about Miriam, winner, wiki, TV show, and then there's something about Miriam dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess we should do a retrospective. Is that celebrity dead? So she's dead, is she?
Yes, apparently so.
Tell me more.
I'm getting up a very reputable news source here, the Metro.
Sky News.
There's something about Miriam star Miriam Rivera found dead, age 38.
Right.
Does it say that it's suspicious circumstances? She hanged herself.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, that's sad.
Well, yeah, I kind of thought that might have been the case, really. I didn't think it was going to be a yuck fest, but if I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure that brought.
She died curing cancer.
Well, I'm sure that the attention that must have brought her would have brought a lot of fucking horrific bullying with it as well. So
I don't know. But I guess it was definitely exploitative TV.
Yes,
I mean, that's quite dystopian, really, is why I brought it up. Is the idea that there are these... I mean, firstly, there are kind of layers of weirdness, right? But the idea that there are, like 10 men in a mansion, I think it was, who every week one of them is eliminated, and at the end you get to, be with Miriam, be her boyfriend. And then at some point, in the finale or something, they reveal that, oh, she's a transsexual. And before that, there had been, bits in hot tubs where, one of them had been getting off with her and stuff.
Right, okay.
And I seem to remember one of the dudes, tried to sue her or tried to sue the company, and they were all, really pissed off. And... yeah, I don't know. Raises lots of interesting questions, I guess.
Yes, very much so. I'm not sure how... See, when you were talking about dystopian, reality TV shows, I wasn't really talking about the, fundamental nature of what reality TV shows are and how kind of odd it is. I just figured it was going to be the fucking, Love Island, but in Mad Max or something.
Well, don't worry.
We'll get there.
Hear, I have all that.
You prepared for this one, did you?
No, but I got some paper here that I can, use to
wipe my ass with.
Some words.
That's what I did earlier.
Electricity bill. Okay. Yeah, like Love Island, but it's electric. Digital.
But it's electric.
Like that song,
Sexy robots.
Electric. Oh, electric. Sexy cars. Here in my electric cars.
Pants. Many pants. Take off my
we can
pants.
Cars if we want to.
You can leave your pants behind. Because your friends don't pants, and if they don't pants, then they're no friends of mine.
So, yeah, I don't know. the Miriam thing. Why did I even get onto that? I can't remember. I guess Sexy Beasts took us there.
Yeah, exploitative TV
I-
shows.
When I was watching it, I honestly thought that they were going to take off their masks and it was going to be like, oh, you have a cleft lip, or something, or there'd be something, or they'd be like, I don't know, just a bit ugly. But they were normal looking people.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
Yeah, whatever kind of point they were trying to make was definitely kind of negated by that fact that they still have to put sexy people on TV. Couldn't really do this thing where people that were like legitimately, well, either average looking or just undateable, and have them kind of take a chance on that. Which is why, as I put my cards on the table, that's what I was looking for. I wanted to see people with Asperger's doing this shit.
They did the first girl up like a freaking hobgoblin, so it was like, oh, it's not clear if she's sexy or not.
But it's
then she's
perfectly
like, hi,
fucking safe.
I'm a model.
Yeah, she's 6 foot and that spends works as a model in New York. It's like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah. But is she a munter or not? So I was surprised and slightly confused this week when I was flicking through the television, because that's still a thing, and I discovered that it's the 2020 Olympics.
Yes, that's something that's been passing me by as well.
But it's 2021.
Yes, I know, but they had all the fucking.
But that thing happened.
They had all the mugs
Don't
printed
mention
and
it.
the T-shirts made. They couldn't eat that cost. Again. No.
Well, that's basically the truth, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
I mean, otherwise they would have called it the 2021 Olympics.
Yes. Yeah. And
It was just extremely weird for a minute where I was watching it and thinking,
have I had a
oh,
stroke?
I thought it was cancelled and I thought it was 2021.
Neither of these things are true.
If I woke up and I realized, like, oh my god, I have either traveled back in time or I have experienced the next year, I have lived through the next year that's about to happen, and I can tell people what's going to happen accurately. There's no useful information I could give anyone.
No, it's going to stay the same for at least 12 months.
I can promise you that the Earth is not destroyed.
And I can promise you'll still be disappointed.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I obviously didn't watch any of the Olympics. I just saw it was on and went, and turned the TV
Jump
off.
behind the couch.
Yeah.
Christina, it's on again. Help.
Oh. Just every time it's on, I have sort of flashbacks to having to watch like days and days and days of Olympic shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, when it was in 2012 in London, I tried to buy tickets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I can't.
but I didn't get any because it was a lottery,
Right. Okay.
and I didn't get anything. But yeah, it's not like I know. I just find it extremely boring now.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I've
it's
never...
not like I'm against it or anything. Just
No. I bet it's nothing that I've ever taken interest in. But the last time I watched it probably was around either the 2012 or 2016, something like that. I caught it on TV while I was at a friend's house, and it just happened to be on while while I was there. And they were doing, which I didn't realize was a thing, whitewater rafting. And they'd set up this obstacle course, in the stadium, and it looked really wacky. It's like something you would see on a game show, really. It's like, oh, if they're going to do this kind of stuff, this is going to kick ass. When are they going to bring out like the fucking Red Bull soapbox race? Bring it.
or okay. So the Nigerian contender, yeah, he's got past the French runner, but now he's got to go down the slippery slope, and then he's got to get past the Olympic official dressed as a horse.
How is he going to make it through the fucking tub of beans? That's where
God,
they all fall down.
He is ahead, but now he's got to get through the ball pit, and that's his weakest area is the ball pit.
All right, we got the Hall of Mirrors. The Hall of Mirrors, he's looking promising.
Doof! Oh no!
That's a concussion. Man down.
So, yeah, I don't know. I find it extraordinarily boring. It's sort of like, have you ever been to the pub and got drunk with your mates and played darts? Well, have you ever been to the pub and not drunk and not talk to the people playing darts and just stood there
Watching them play darts.
slowly play darts. And actually, all they're doing is drinking and talking. And like every 3 or 4 minutes, one of them will throw some fucking darts, and none of them really care. That's what the fucking Olympics is to me. It can fuck right off. Why do I give a shit if you can run fast or not? Get back to the fucking acid mines.
Fucking hell.
Or whatever, or working in an office or something. I don't know. No, not really. I mean, I'm not against it. Good for those people. Well done, athletes. But it just does not appeal to me at all. At least with something like football, I can watch it and you can look at people and think, oh yeah, that's a good tackle. Oh yeah, that's clever what they've done there. Or, oh, that was stupid. But with something like running,
yeah, there's nothing to
it.
He was fast.
Like, especially running where it's like where it's like 4,000 meters, and basically it's just people who do this all the time and know exactly what they're going to do. And the question is he going to get 5 seconds off his time or not?
Well, in most cases, it's even less than that. We're talking like fractions of a second. I mean, I guess to those athletes that means a great deal, right? But as a spectator, as someone in front of a TV set, that's some boring ass shit.
I find it very boring, but there's a lot of coverage. I mean, I guess people like it.
It's important to a lot of people. I mean,
is it? I know it's a huge boon for advertising.
Perhaps I don't know. This is like obviously fucking everyone kind of blew their load with the Euro Cup here, at least. I don't know what it's like over there. So soon
Euro Cup.
The football.
You're making that up, right? Would that be which country is best at the spoons?
Well, in effect,
you're talking about soccer, football.
Football. In the rest of the world, soccer is called football. Blah. I'm vanquished, buddy.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, everyone kind of like blew their load on that. So the Olympics was
all over a cup.
And the last man had to drink it. Back to sexy beasts.
With that game, that soggy biscuit game that you're obviously referring to there, where the last person has to eat the biscuit.
Yeah.
The last person to come on the biscuit has to eat the biscuit. If I was for some reason fucking playing that, God knows why, I guess I would have had to have quantum leapt into someone just as my friend there jizzes, which means I'm the last person. I'd be like, right, I'm not going to come now.
I'm going to wait till this biscuit dries, all right? Then I will fucking jizz on it.
I don't have to eat it until the last person comes, and if I don't come, I don't have to eat it. Rules, motherfuckers!
Yes, but you have to keep your hand on your dick. Fine.
Fine.
Let's see how slow I can stroke.
You still have to masturbate, do you? Right. They have to get like people in from Oxford to say like, well, that's not actually masturbating.
Oh yeah, there's affidavits involved. It's very proper.
So the Olympics. Go on. What were you saying?
It's nowhere near as interesting as that, but yeah, no one gave a shit because it happened like a week after the fucking final. At least in the UK, they were so fucking pumped for this thing, and I'm surprised that London wasn't sacked to the ground when they lost. But I mean, everyone was, I guess, kind of just was absolutely fucking done with it. There's nothing left in them to fucking cheer for anymore. And yeah, it appeared on TV. Must have been like the third day. And I was like, oh yeah, I thought that was going to be later on in the summer, but I guess it's already started. And I had the exact same conversation that we're having now with my flatmates. Like, yeah, it's a thing. Anyway, change the channel, and no one gives a shit. And everyone kind of leaves through and it's like, who's got however many medals? Okay, such and such got gold. Fine, done. They check it. We read into it for about 20 seconds. We get the stats, and then that's it. Done. There's nothing worth watching. And apart from, I guess for a lot of English people, I think they're just somewhat having a tantrum since they lost the European Championship. They just don't want to bother cheering for anything now. There's no point. This is the best they had at winning any kind of international championship, any kind of award, and they they had every kind of advantage given to them, and then they still fucking fudged it. So it's just not worth.
But how little you understand the English spirit of getting behind anything that's successful. Because if they started to do well at anything, people would be like, "Yeah, I've always been into cricket. Cricket is the true English sport." And now that we're fucking thrashing the Indians and the Pakistanis at cricket, that's what I've always been about. Rugby, that can fuck off. Wait, are we winning? Okay, they can fuck off then.
That could be true. That could be true. It's just what I've observed so far, but I haven't looked too much into it because
England, the home of croquet.
Yeah, well, there's too much I just don't give a shit about. I don't give a shit about the Olympics, football, or the English. So, I mean, these assumptions have all been based on what I've observed walking in the streets to either, to the off license or to work. And I'm not prepared to do any more homework.
As soon as that referendum comes, you'll be in your woad on the other side of the border, won't you, Damien?
In my what, sorry? Woad?
Yeah, in your woad, yeah. In your woad.
What the fuck is that?
With your father. Your father will be there going, no representation without taxation. This is Bannockburn too.
Look, my son made me a gun. Back off.
1776 and all that, or whatever. Or would it be 1664? A good year for beer. I was thinking that it would be more interesting. Well, first, I guess it would be more interesting with weightlifting. The way they do it isn't who can lift the most. It's who can last during a sort of progressive contest where they go up with weights. They start on like the pink weights.
Right. It's really tedious because they start at like 1 kilo weights. And they go
1 kilo weights.
So it's like 300 rounds.
Weights. They're just like lifting like single apples and bags of sugar and stuff.
Good form.
I think it should just be like, right, there you go, lads. There's fucking loads of weights. There's a VW over there with an engine in it. There's a VW over there with its engine not in it. Who can lift the most? And then just who can do the most? Like, he's doing 240 there. Well, I was only going to go 230, but I'm going to try 250 now. I'm going to try 241. I'm going to be petty. Or whatever. I'm going to lift the exact same weight as him in a grape.
You were the closest without going over. Oh, for fuck's sake.
But then I thought a better idea would be the Regular Olympics, where spectatorship is all by lottery, like via country and all of that. And then you sit with your chosen demographic. So if you're I don't know, you could sit with the lesbians because you're a lesbian. You could sit with the Moroccans because you're from Morocco. You could sit with the Muslims because you're a Muslim, or you could sit with the women because you're a woman. Whatever you want. But you only ever represent them. So even though you're a Moroccan lesbian, if you're sat with the lesbians, you just represent lesbians, not Moroccan lesbians. There's no such thing. And then they get picked randomly. And then, so you get a random person, like this is a random German. Could be a man or a woman. Could be old or young, whatever. Could be gay or straight. But it's a German. And they are fighting against a lesbian. And that lesbian might be a German, might not. Doesn't matter. Might be Muslim, might be Christian, might be no religion at all. Do you understand?
I'm kind of following, but it's getting progressively difficult.
Yeah.
You've lost the fucking plot as well.
No, I haven't. No, I mean I've finished. That's all the explaining I was planning on doing. So
I just want to see a German fight a lesbian.
Well, not fight, but like run or whatever they're doing.
Compete.
Yeah, I think it would be much more interesting if it was random normal people, is what I'm trying to say. I was just trying to get a sweeping sort of demographic
I'd like it if at the end
there.
of every event in the Olympics had to be settled with boxing. So the 100-meter sprint was to a boxing ring. Pole vault into a boxing ring.
The only people who actually get into the boxing ring are the two fastest 100-meter runners. But then they're boxing for the gold.
The rest is immaterial.
Oh yeah, did you hear that the Muslims took the gold at the swimming? of. I'm trying to think of Olympic sports. I'm sure I saw skateboarding was on there.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, they had white
Yeah.
water rafting down what looked like a fucking water park.
But you could have all sorts of interesting stuff there, couldn't you? You could have like, the person who won white water rafting, they were a Cuban teenager, and they only won because everyone else was really old.
I'd like to
Just as it happened.
I'd like to see like swimming, but the swimmers have to be encumbered by as many fucking like inflatable armbands as humanly possible on every limb.
Yeah, like the first minute, your opponent gets to put as many armbands on you as they can.
And it's all about technique. It's all freestyle. There's no specific stroke. You have swimmers that have invented a technique of essentially getting themselves the other way around and blowing bubbles from their mouth to propel themselves because they simply cannot move their limbs, and that is the most efficient means of them reaching the other end of the pool.
Yeah, they have to do like methane tests and stuff to make sure no one's got some pumped up, pent up farting.
Yeah, they have to strictly monitor the diet. No beans. Beans is out. Beans is an unfair advantage.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what else could you do?
Right, so you said there was skateboarding. All right, so what was the skateboarding? That presumably was something. Were they just doing tricks on a half pipe, or was it just like a race? Because that's kind of like just the one. Well, that's kind of like the sprint, really.
It's a race through Croydon.
Oh no, it's still
I don't know.
still Tokyo. They've just got a really elaborate facade in the stadium.
I mean, I guess it would be like a sort of technical obstacle course, right? Where you you have to do a half pipe, and then you have to do a ollie, and then you have to do a gnarly, and then you have to do a guff, and then you. Was that you laughing, or
Yes.
was that what was that?
So I don't know, but guff really got me.
It sounded like all the air in Damien just got let out of an extremely small hole.
Yes, so I mean, obviously, all of your skateboarding expertise comes from one place. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 there.
Oh, you 720 guff.
Was guff a thing, or was that when you fucked it up? I can't remember.
You guff, bro.
All I remember was making those custom maps, and always, no matter how intricately I designed the park, and some of them were fucking autistic, I'd always set a fucking spike pit for where you would spawn, so I get someone to play it, and it was just unmanageable. They just kept dropping to their death immediately. And for whatever reason, I just love it when the word shish kebab came up in great big fucking bloody letters across the screen. It really fucking got me.
Yeah, I remember Pro Skater 2 as well. It had like some really good music on there, and you'd always start and die immediately when it would be like, "Fight like a dead."
Yeah, that game needed more realistic injuries. I'd like to see a proper broken neck in that game.
Like decapitations and stuff, and
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously you could set...
technical decapitation where your head doesn't actually have to come off your body, but your neck does break in a way where it's not.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the spinal
connected.
cord is severed, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just muscle tissue and skin that are holding it in place.
Sort of like basically the cam from like Sniper Elite, where you can see like bullets penetrate
Yes.
body parts in slow time, but it's Tony Hawk like smashing all his teeth in basically every fucking time. Like they get him in the green screen room place. They get him in the studio. They put all the dots on his face. They've got Tony Hawk looking absolutely horrified a million different ways.
If you turn around, it's like fucking Acme in there with just fucking anvils and hammers and fucking dynamite and shit. Oh, they're going to put him through the ringer all right.
And eventually on YouTube, they release basically like the Tony Hawk Tommy Vercetti cut of just him going, "Ah, bitch! Ah, kill! Ah, guff."
Guff.
Guff.
Dude, that's what those keyboards need in those fucking music lessons. DJ was great,
Guff.
but we needed Guff. Excellent. Guff. Very good.
Dictionary.
Guff.
Well, that's the last of the listeners gone.
Yep.
I've got another idea for a dystopian reality
Go on,
TV show.
let's hear it.
Baby or No. Ooh.
So a woman,
it's,
is abducted, wakes up in a hospital, finds out she's got a horribly distended belly. Now she's got to find out, is that a baby, or have they surgically implanted something that just shouldn't be there? It could be anything.
Basically, like, it's your standard quiz show. As many contestants as you want, 4 to 15. We could do a 15-to-1 thing, I guess.
Okay.
Everyone's in their final trimester. The winner gets all of their baby expenses paid for. The loser gets sterilized.
What's the...
Possibly as well the baby gets taken away.
Okay. So what's the competition? They all have to sit on, like, really aggressive, like, tumble dryers, and the other one that doesn't, miscarries is the winner?
It's either a quiz show about how much you know about rearing babies. Rearing, I like that word. Rearing babies. Spawning babies. Or it's just a general knowledge competition, like The Weakest Link. And it's nothing to do with anything. And people are getting sterilized because they didn't know what the capital of Brazil is.
Okay. I like that. Okay.
Okay.
I'd like the...
Got another one.
I do quite like that you busted out 15-to-1, because I haven't had that shit in fucking years.
Yeah, what was the guy who ran that?
Oh, fuck.
What's he
I
called?
can't fucking remember. For a second, my mind conflated it with fucking Weakest Link, and I thought I was going to say fucking... I can't remember. Anne Robinson. But obviously not. I could... Well, the way I remember it, again, it could be fucking conflating memories here, but he looked kind of like John Major to me, the way I remember it in my head. I could be wildly fucking wrong. Let's have a look.
Yeah, sort of. Wasn't his name like Norman or something? I can't remember. Anyway, he'll be dead. We don't even need to look at that one. Going on from Sexy Beasts, I've got another idea. See what you think of this. The explanation is pretty much in the title. Acid attack dating. Acid or burn victims go on dates. They're gross. That's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice and simple. Just some real sick kind of Schadenfreude stuff.
Yeah, and like there can be this constant implication from the producers, like, well, yeah, obviously, just because you've got an acid attack or anything, or a horrible burn, obviously that doesn't mean legally that you couldn't get a date with someone who isn't, scarred. But
let's live in the real world.
As
here,
everyone
people.
knows, no one would ever want to be with you. So, here's another person with a horrific injury. So get it on with them, even if you don't like them.
And they all come out on conveyor belts as well. They're really just kind of drolled out, like.
Okay. They're burning people to get on the show.
Do you want to be on TV? Prove it.
Yeah. Prove it, and then you got people in the line going like, acid. Oh, burn! Shit. Well, there goes my beauty regime, my skin regime. Beverly Hillbillies. Can contestants get brand sponsorships whilst faking being rich, but really being from social garbage? Ooh. Okay, not into that one then. Rich Man Blue.
Okay.
Can the richest humans survive on an abandoned space station and engineer it to re-enter the atmosphere? Or will they all suffocate? Find out on Thursdays on Fox at 9.
See, that's just a thinly veiled attempt to just see Jeff Bezos die in space, which I respect,
Yeah.
but I don't think we need the pretense.
But I like the idea that maybe, Bill Gates could, like, put his, cast his hand over a bit of space dust and copper wire, and suddenly it's a motherboard.
With a nice sprinkly sound as well. Some fairy magic going on there.
Because there is an idea that these people sort of like to foster, really, I think, where they are, very, very clever. And I'm sure they are very clever, but I want to see how clever they are.
In a life or
what
death
they can do.
situation.
Yeah, not just in a life or death situation, but they know that this is all being broadcast live, and that this is essentially an attempt to get rid of them. They're like pissed off and desperate, and the announcer, whoever that is, has made it very clear that we're going to try and kill you. Essentially, the announcer is GLaDOS, but it's every human being in the world.
They just, it's just the rapturous fucking applause every time they open up the comlink. Everyone's just cheering.
Got another one. I call it Rage Cage. For every day that you can live in a small studio apartment with Nicolas Cage, you make $2,000. But every person he can convince to leave, he makes 50.
That sounds like a fucking
break the
belter.
And he's really pissed off as well. Like, the producers are constantly calling him and like constantly doing things like, "Oh shit, Nick, your ex-wife is here. Which one? Oh, the mad one. The one you owe all that money to." And all this, and then there's no one there. And then it's his first wife, and that's even worse, or whatever. And they're constantly like goading him and pissing him off and like spray painting his enormous car. And he's angry.
He's all, yeah.
And that's the show.
Okay, I do like that, because that sounds, that could be legit.
Yeah, and I was thinking as well, you could also have a thing. That's my original idea, but you could also have a thing where it's two people living with Nick Cage, and it's like winner stays on.
Right. Yeah.
So like if someone leaves, or because they've had enough, they've been driven to insanity, then Nick Cage gets his 50 grand, but also that person gets like a bonus.
Okay, yeah, I like that. But I think a prerequisite for Cage is that he can only communicate in dialogue from any of his movies. So he can't talk he can't talk to you as a human being. He can't just think off the cuff. It just has to be in classic Cage quotes.
Yeah, and he can't break the law, and you can't break the law, and you can go outside and stuff, but you live there, and you have to live there. You both.
Oh,
have
it's a
to,
communal
be
bedroom
in that room for like at least 20 hours a day. Like you can both go out and get a packet of fags or whatever, get some milk, but
you're going back to that fucking house. There's a curfew.
You're going back to that fucking house, and if you don't want Nicolas Cage to go mental, you better write which milk is his and which is yours, because he has enough of that.
All right, you can only use the washing machine once a week, but it has to be full. No half loads, because that can fuck up the drum. All right, Cage fucking hates that shit.
Yeah, and he has a sleeping schedule that can be at best described as belligerent.
There's one communal mattress, It's not even a king size.
It's what it is it's a fold-out bed. Because it's only a small little room. It's only like 400 square feet.
Yep.
But it's a fold-out, it's a fold-out sofa mattress. So when you want to sleep, he's wanting to play on the Xbox and all of that.
Yes, yeah. It's just, so inconsiderate like that, But that's the name of the game. That makes sense. What can you stomach?
If he goes on PlayStation and wants to download a game for PlayStation that is too big, is too big, and you have stuff on there, he will delete it without asking.
Well, he's also banned from PlayStation Live for fucking bullying people in the chat room.
I just had an out-of-body experience where I suddenly realised what the hell I'm doing. This is embarrassing, Damien.
Are you going to stop? No. Fuck no.
No.
I'm already fucking balls deep in this.
Now that I've had an out-of-body experience, I can really enjoy it. Now that I'm actually stood in the corner watching whoever this is do this. Carry on.
Cage he's using your PlayStation Live account because he's obviously been fucking barred from his, so he's now charging all the DLC. He's charging to your fucking card. He's not even asking now. You've tried to have a fucking word with him, So I think he's very much overstepping his fucking bounds, but he's not having it. It's Cage. What do you think? Wearing nothing but snakeskin the whole time.
Yeah, he wears like snakeskin boots and a snakeskin cowboy hat, and that is it.
Oh, don't forget the underwear. Tight and binding.
I don't think he has underwear. I think it's basically like a Bob Ross sort of pubic afro going on, where you can't really see his dick most of the time.
Right. So some kind of merkin that operates in the.
I don't think it's a
sort of
merkin. I think it's attached to him.
attached to
Well,
him. All right, so these are like hair plugs then.
Yeah,
We've surgically altered
is
Nick
especially
Cage.
irritable because Nick Cage is especially irritable because he has hair plugs on his entire body, and it's an extremely painful, itchy process. And that's what he's doing. This is basically his rehab. He can't do anything for like 6 months, so I'm going to make 50 grand a week doing this then.
Right. Okay. So you've got to look. So it's not just living with Nick Cage; it's a nursing Nick Cage as well.
No, it's not nursing. He can look after himself. I'm just saying it makes him grouchy, very grouchy. And there's fucking hair in like not just in the plugs, everywhere.
Oh god, yeah. Don't mention the fucking
Every
shower.
drink you make will have Nick Cage hair in it.
You know, for someone considering they're all plugs and they're not guaranteed to ever grow again, he molts like a motherfucker. So how is he still so hairy?
I mean, he molts more than any dog, but also, unlike any dog, he's also using the cutlery. He's also using the kettle. He's also using the bathroom constantly. Everywhere he goes, which is everywhere, there is hair.
Oh, so he's definitely molting, but the reason he's grouchy is nothing to do with the pain. It's the top-up treatments that he's getting every 2 days. He's just getting more plugged into him constantly. It's a considerable drain on his time. It's very wearing. I'm not surprised he's got a fucking short temper. So yeah, you know,
So
if you're going
you're
to
saying
fucking,
like every two
don't leave fucking
days,
washing in the sink.
someone comes
all right?
over for like 8 hours. Nick Cage lays face down on the sofa mattress, and someone with like an electronic needle just like stabs him for 8 hours, and he just goes "Argh!" for 8 hours.
Well, because
And you're in
they're
the same
watching,
room
you
as
know,
him.
much as the audience are as well. So they just wait until he's asleep, and that's when they tie him to the fucking bed. You know, Nick Cage isn't fucking submitting to this at all. No. They have to get him when he's down. They bring
Yeah,
out.
he has to get sloshed. He has to get really drunk, and then they do it. So then he can't fight back. Because if
Oh,
you
yeah,
tie
yeah.
him down and he's sober, he'll just break the chains.
Oh no! First thing they come in, they've got a trank. They trank him, you know, with a dart gun, you know, horse tranquilizer. Boom, out like a light. Even for someone as hardcore as Cage, no. He can't keep on his feet. He's still awake throughout the process. He's just in a K-hole. You know, he reckons he's being probed by aliens or something. So he wakes up pretty fucking disorientated. Why he's hairy every time he doesn't know.
He's awake and he can feel everything. He's just basically in like locked-in syndrome where he's just like
So once he does finally regain control of his body, he's got a lot to prove. So you keep
very
out of arm's
angry.
reach because he's going to be fucking swinging.
Yeah, yeah. That sounds pretty much it. Yeah. Do you have any other ideas?
I don't think we need any more ideas after that. That's fucking golden.
I've got one here called "I Believe That Belongs to Mr. Ragomez." Every week, bounty hunters compete to collect the most amount from Erica Girardi. So I sort of see it as like, a reality TV show told mostly from the perspective of the bounty hunters, sort of like Doug the Bounty Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe Erica has like a GoPro on her as well, or something like that. And they just hunt her down and like try and vacuum the stolen goods out of her,
God almighty.
off her, whatever. All right, so another one I've got, Partyland. Okay, so this is sort of like a bit like a Bridezilla sort of thing where
Okay.
we're paying for weddings sort of thing, or dues, whatever, some sort of event, and the deal is that we'll cater your event, bar mitzvah, wedding, coming out of prison party, whatever. We'll pay for it and film it for our reality TV show, but it's really going to be two separate events side by side, where one party aims to spend more than like 150 grand, and one party aims to spend less than 10 grand, and then at the end, all the participants have to vote on what the better party was. and the person running the extravagant party and planning it. It follows them planning it, and things go wrong. And oh no, what am I gonna do? The karaoke people didn't turn up and all that shit. And the person running the extravagant one is Ellen, and the person running the like paupers one, like hot dogs and Dixie cups, is John Candy. And every week they compete. And
John
it's like
Candy
a bit
wins
of a-
every time because he's delightful, and Ellen always goes around beating the shit out of people. It's like, who's
That's where
who's
you're
Ellen
going
gonna
wrong,
fucking
Ellen.
kneecap this week? Get the fucking crowbar out of her hands. Jesus fucking Christ, did we not learn last time?
Yeah, so there you go. That was my idea. Originally, it was going to be two people from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which I've had a lot of exposure to. But there's a guy on it called I can't remember his name. I just call him Shi. He's I guess he's like a Chinese guy living in California and making mad fucking bank by conning people into having like extremely extravagant parties that he plans.
Okay.
And obviously takes a cut out of. And he's always like, she, oh yes. Oh, $1 million wedding. He's really funny. I really like him. And then there's another guy on there who's also a party planner called Glenn. And he's just like, oh.
He's
well,
a fucking
we'll just have
funeral.
boxes for seats. It's just like a sort of like slobby dude.
You
And I
guys
always
got
thought they'd be
booze?
Great.
You'll be fine then.
yeah, it is like that. And I just thought they'd be fun. But then who's going to fucking know those people from that show? Like, you could have watched that show and not know who they are. They're not like main characters or anything. So I changed it to modern day equivalents, Ellen and John Candy, which everyone knows.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. But I like the sound of these other two dudes. I'd like to see them spar off. I think we should get them competing in the Olympics.
Yeah, and like the intro would be like the changing rooms intro where they're back to back. So it's sort of like they're friends, but this is a competition, sort of like 90s brand of reality TV.
Yeah.
Do you remember Changing Rooms?
Yes, yeah.
Essentially, two friends, couples who are friends usually next door neighbors, hire sort of interior decorators, and they've got 2 days to renovate each other's bedrooms, kitchens, whatever it is, on a very limited budget. So you're renovating your next door neighbour's kitchen and they're renovating yours, and you've both only got £400, and the people who are essentially really making the decisions, definitely advising you, are
Don't put a toilet there. For fuck's sake.
No, the people advising you are doing it so you get something like wacky for TV, and it always ends up dreadful. And occasionally people would be like, this is fucking awful, what were you thinking?
Yeah, I'd like it if they were two neighbours that fucking hated each other, and all they did was just remove each other's toilets, thinking that'd be really funny. Turns out they don't have, they go back home, they haven't got a pot to piss in either.
Dale's always said to me that he's always wanted a more authentic toilet experience, where he would squat. So I've decided to replace his toilet with a hole in the ground.
The credit sequence of every show of these two neighbours, it's a montage of these two neighbours just pissing
Duking
over each other's fences because they don't have any toilets anymore. Every week, the same shit. We never learn. Why we call it changing rooms, I don't know.
But it was always like, this room, okay, let's have a look at this. Yeah, this is 800 square feet, and there's damp there, and the floorboards need to come up, and we got £150. And then they just like put some fucking lino down.
Look, we got a draft excluder. What do you want?
I mean, it was to me it was quintessentially British, because I imagine even at the same time in the 90s, in America, if you're going to do that, it would be like, yeah, we've got a team in this massive RV, and we're going to drop 15 grand on this and do it. But in Britain, it was like, yeah, Handy Andy turned up on his motorbike, and he's going to redo your skirting board. Isn't that nice of him?
Oh, it's so quaint.
Yeah, there was no value actually really given. Even though they had all these people working 24 hours, it was always like, yeah, you know that horrible room? We painted it a very weird choice of peach.
Yes, you know it's an odd colour when it's described by fruit.
Right, and what I was going to do was I was going to rip the carpet up, but then I found out that this particular shade of scarlet, of like ash, cigarette ash scarlet, like the sort of like scarlet you get in like old pubs where like thousands and thousands of cigarette butts have been like chewed in to the, you know, the sort of carpet that is phenomenally hard because it's laid on concrete.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no point of having carpet at all. Like that, I decided to put that down for whatever reason.
Spite every time.
Spite, yeah. I just had some left over actually. Yeah, the thing was actually if we're gonna redo your carpet, that's the entire budget right there. Not even to lay it properly,
Yeah.
just to buy the carpet.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
All I've done is I've upgraded your fridge to a Smeg. You're welcome. That was the friendliest turn on changing rooms there ever was in the history of the show. Oh, good. I could use this. This is nice. Oh, fuck. Why did you get rid of my toilets?
I've now changed your shower into a wet room. So as long as you don't forget to put, you know, a strip of lino on the door when you're in there, it's completely waterproof. And my last reality TV show is Tiara's Gamble. I was figuring we could find someone called Tiara to host it, whatever.
Okay.
5 couples, could be more, could be less, whatever, they have to spend either the most or the least on their wedding that they're planning over a week. And every day they get to like bid on a card, and the card could be like hidden, so they don't know what they're bidding on, or there could be a clue or whatever. And the cards are things like you get to put an extra 10 grand on top of the budget of your rival wedding couple or whatever.
Okay.
That's it.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I apologise.
You got to spend the most or the least? Ooh. All right then. Well, let's see you come up with one.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I really am. You know, it seems rude, but I'm just fucking shattered. I'm trying. I leafed around with something, but I only had the fucking title, and it's got nothing to do with any kind of reality TV shows. It's something that was bouncing around there.
What is it?
It was going to be a Kingdom of the Crystals flush bucket. I couldn't figure out a concept.
I mean, to me, that sounds basically like it's the Crystal Maze. Where people, instead of collecting crystals, people are just collecting like shattered parts of a crystal flush bucket. And then instead of at the end, like, do we have enough crystals to stand in what was it, like a room full of like gushing air whilst we collect tickets? It's just, do we have enough parts to get enough of the bucket together to pick up some water to do something with?
to do my custodial work. The show itself is hosted by 3 chefs.
No, that's that's it. Right, there's a cooking element, right, and depending on what you eat is going to change how much and the consistency of what you defecate. So they might not get a lot of crystals to make a big bucket with, but if you've had a small turd, that might be enough to flush.
Okay,
if you've had something really runny, they're going to need a lot of water for that.
So a high fiber diet might just be the strategy. So this is a game that's played over several days, so you can adapt.
But maybe there's some sort of game element where they have to sacrifice time collecting that to choose higher fiber. So it's like, well, what do I want to do? Do I want to get more crystal shards?
Or do I want the wheat mix?
Yeah.
Well, this is good.
I like the idea of...
These are the questions that the audience can be asking themselves at home. This is what generates the interest. It's good.
But then, really, for it to work, we're probably going to have to go back to actual crystals to be tokens to make the bucket, because it's no good if you get loads of parts, but one of the part isn't the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. So you trade it in for
something.
okay, for parts of the bucket.
Yeah. And then if you do really well, you could get a nice, like, Louis XIV handle for it.
Or it could just be,
Engraved wood on the crystal flesh bucket.
or it could just be, nightmare. But you just navigate your friend through a maze of shit, absolute fucking shit.
Oh, I've got another one. I do have another one that I forgot about. It's very basic though. It's
Okay.
stripped back, but it is dystopian. It's called "Don't Be Boring," and it's again, it's a small room and it's 12 people. It's live TV every week. It's an hour long live, and people just vote online for free. They can only vote once somehow. We'll work it out. And the person who is voted for either the least or the most, maybe the person you vote off, is eliminated. And that's it. And it's don't be boring. And the people have no...
It's a 24-hour live stream. They just have
No,
to
it's 1 hour every week, and that's the only hour the public have access to. They live together in this room for the whole week in between, but we don't see any of that. And they don't know why they're voted off or anything. All they know is you get voted off. They don't even know who got the most or the least votes or anything. Just someone got voted off, so don't be boring. The winner gets $1 million or whatever.
What happens to the people voted off? Right? Do they get to reintegrate into the public, or do they just go into a room below the room that has no lights in it, and we just watch them? That can be like
that can be
don't be boring extra. You get the follow-up hour where you just get to watch them. With what's it fucking with fuck it up. You just watch them in the pitch black with like infrared fucking cameras or something, some shit like that.
That's all right. Yeah, you watch them in like infrared, and they're just like completely still. It's like watching someone be asleep. So basically, it's 2005 24-hour Big Brother.
But this time they don't have a futon.
When they did that with Big Brother, when they like kept on rolling it out more and more and more until it was like, I remember you could watch Big Brother live, so you could watch someone doing vision mixing on a live feed of like 18 cameras where everyone was asleep and had been asleep for hours, and you could also watch like E4+1, which was the same feed but an hour ago, and you could look and be like, oh, Toby hasn't moved in an hour.
Oh wait, no, he fucking spilled his drink.
Fuck, I was wrong. I assumed he hadn't moved. He did move. He rolled over and then rolled back.
Oh,
he's just in the same position. He has moved.
Well, I know what he's going to do in an hour's time.
Well, I'll have to double check. I'll have to see if it's accurate and flick between the two. But they rolled all that out, and then they sort of rolled it back and were like, oh no.
No one gives a shit. We'll just roll with the highlights.
Is Big Brother still on?
Might be. I know that the Channel 4 shit canned it, and I think they gave it to Channel 5. That would have been about 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know if Channel 5 is still doing it. I know they had a huge kind of marketing push when it went to Channel 5, but after that, I haven't seen it since. I will very quickly look, but just for my own edification.
Yeah, just to solidify the quaintness of Britain in anybody else's mind who isn't from there. In Britain, there are 5 channels. And Channel 5 is shit.
Yep.
We have many other channels, but there are only 5, really.
It's all right. So it's apparently still running.
Right.
Sorry.
Is that Big Brother dead? Right, it's still running. And is it all celebrity Big Brother now, or what?
I don't fucking... Doesn't seem to be... I don't know, because there's the people that they get on these shows all kind of look pretty fucking plastic and vacuous anyway. They very much could be. It's just a caliber of celebrity that I'm not familiar with. No, it doesn't... They usually clarify if it's a celebrity edition, although what they the celebrities that they get in there. It's a very loose definition of the word. No, it doesn't say. I would say no. It's just regular kind of people on the street, kind of trash, looking for their 15 minutes.
Rather than celebrity trash.
Yes.
Looking for their 15 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I watched a sort of well, not a celebrity, a Love Island sort of thing, again on Netflix the other day. They produced some real quality stuff, and it was just sort of like we get these young horny idiots on an island, and we give them some time together, and like, yeah, you like each other, don't you? And then we say, by the way, there's $100,000 up for grabs, but you can't have sex. And if you have sex, we're gonna take like 95 grand away. And if you kiss, we're gonna take like 3 grand away. And I watched a little bit of that, and that's that's dystopian shit, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
There's no value to that. It's just ugh.
No, not at all. It's just rehashing a lot of what's already been. Yeah, well, they're all retreads, aren't they?
Well, years and years ago, I think on E4, which I never watched because obviously, but I saw adverts for, I don't know, like Phone Jacker or something, where one of the pranks they did, pranks, was to trick, I think, what's his name, Steve Gaffney, who plays Robbie from EastEnders, opposite Wellard. They tricked Steve Gaffney, who is like a very, very, very low down celebrity, while still actually being a celebrity. They tricked him into like signing up for Celebrity Lap Dance Island, and the whole thing on that was like, yeah, you have to get lap dances and not get an erection. and it was a prank. Like, it didn't exist. The prank was like, look how desperate these dudes are.
Right? Yeah.
It's pathetic. And this isn't a prank. This is the real thing.
The real fucking thing. Yeah.
But actual like, we're gonna go and bang, and they're constantly like setting people up. Like, we've noticed you like each other. Remember, you can't have sex, but we have set up a hot tub for you.
Yes, there's a lot of baby lotion over there. You have to apply it to each other, but not do anything.
Yeah. I think one of the bits in it is they have to give each other a massage.
Oh man.
And all the people in it are like, yeah, I mean, I don't have an education or anything in it, but like, I mean, obviously $100,000 would change anybody's ideas, but for me, I'm especially uneducated, so it'd be like a lot for me, but like, I just want to bang. I don't know if that's a man or a woman, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
Like, it's very stupid, and I don't know.
Yeah.
They do our entire race a disservice by picking those people.
Well, it's the only
because they
benefit.
looked hard for stupid people.
The only benefit is that for a brief moment, granted we know about it after the fact, all these people were corralled into one place. A strategic airstrike would kind of clean up the gene pool, but we just knew about it too late. But the idea that they're trying to kind of condense these people all into one spot, I think that is a step in the right direction. It's just that that critical information has not been given to the right people at the right time.
There's like a poorly lit command center somewhere where like some crusty old men in immaculate uniforms are looking at each other going, they're onto us. They're onto Project New Jersey. Can we bomb New Jersey yet? No, we're still waiting. We still haven't reached critical mass. Well, New Jersey's got that reputation in America. Where is that in Britain?
You've got maybe Blackpool.
Yeah, Blackpool.
They also, one of the things that was, I don't know if I dare say popular here, but they had was it Geordie Shore over here, which is their kind of version of it. So, yeah, you've got that as well. Who's Geordie's? Geordie's is what? Newcastle, is that right? I can't remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somewhere up north.
Well, yeah.
With all the peasants.
I always get, was it, there's Liverpool, Birmingham, and Newcastle
I will
that
ride
I'd always
my metal
get fucking
carriage
mixed
to
up.
Twickenham.
There's Newcastle, Liverpool, and Birmingham. I'd always get mixed up, particularly with the accents as well.
What? They sound nothing
I
like.
know, but
Birmingham is nowhere near Newcastle.
I know that, but I haven't been
Birmingham sounds like that.
Right, are they always moaning
Everybody
like
get
that?
off the bus now. Well, you can't say like that. Yeah.
These are things
Can you
I've
do
had.
any of those accents?
No, of course I
Damien?
can't do any of those accents. If I did, I wouldn't get them confused so much.
Could you do Liverpool for us?
No, I can't. No, absolutely not.
What about Scottish?
All I can do is, sure she can laugh, but can she do her own stunts? That's my
I
Scottish
tell ya,
accent.
she's a cow, and therefore she didn't, and she couldn't.
Is shopping for car insurance driving you crazy? That's it. That's my Scottish. All right. It's
Cuckoo.
crazy.
That's how that cow laughs, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Have we talked about how the laughing cow is sort of beautiful?
It's the kind of cow that, you know, you would.
You can really take home to your parents.
She had very soft and, you know, motherly eyes, you know?
Yeah, she looks friendly, exactly. Yeah, she looks friendly, but also sort of like, young.
Fit for purpose.
Oh, you're objectifying cows now.
I'm sure I can get away with that. That's fine. I apologize. I kind of made myself sad a little bit there.
I think that one thing I can say now in my old age is that the cow sort of raises an unrealistic standard. The laughing cow raises. No cow can live up to that.
No, of course not. This is why you have all these cows with body dysmorphia now. It's no good. That's why you have now the maniacally laughing cow, which is fucking horrific.
Oh dear. Yeah, laughing cow. I wonder what she's up to. Oh, you know what I came across the other day? Oreos with like, what are they called? Like pop rocks.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't know
You
that
know
was
that
a thing.
candy that you put
Yeah,
in your
yeah,
tongue and it
fizzes.
pops?
Yeah.
Yeah, fizzes. Yeah.
Didn't realize they'd put that.
All right, nothing to say on that. I just thought I'd put that out there, like that fucking atrocity. What were they thinking?
Well, I don't know, but you remember when we talked about all those fucking chocolate oranges that we fucking hoarded that time? I'm pretty sure.
I do remember those. Yes. Well,
so,
50p though.
Yeah, there was some with honeycomb that was new, but they had some ones with the fizzing candy in it, which is
Yeah.
I think we had a couple of those, but I thought they were fucking dynamite. Actually, I was not expecting it. I was just happy to eat that day. But when that was a very tantalizing surprise when I fucking tucked into those bastards.
Both of us there, like bare feet, like covered in soot, like chocolate, sweet, good for fats, chocolate, candy wrapper, colourful, good in the hair. That's what it was like. Dairy Junkers, stay away from my cold rice.
It's my fucking salad cream. Piss off.
I've carefully wrapped my rice with some plastic over it so that it builds up some really like ice cold condensation, so that my eating of it can be absolutely joyless. Thank you.
You know it's my food because I put a picture of Nick Cage on it.
Looking sad. No, you'd always bring like the greyest looking sushi home.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I don't care. It was free food.
Oh, I understand. I'm just saying it looked shit. No, I don't worry. Like I didn't. No one was assuming that you putting salad cream on Ritz crackers was a choice. I mean, it was a choice to do that, I guess. But
that's more of a kind of
these
that's
days
more of
it is.
a
Well,
Pavlovian thing.
I imagine these days it's more like a tiny slice of like shit supermarket cheddar cheese, like cut with like a nail file on a Ritz cracker, and then only on one side a tiny sliver of salad cream, and then another Ritz cracker, and that's like you'll have like 10 of them for lunch.
Yeah, no,
And maybe an
I
olive,
classed it up.
if
Yeah,
you-
exactly. I use a
Yeah.
cocktail stick as well, so they look like a nice little. I mean, I work in the business, so I call it a amuse bouche myself. You know, posh.
Yeah. What are you having for dinner, Damien? A moose bouche.
I tried to pitch it at work. No takers, unfortunately, but you know, had to move on. One day, you know, that's how I make my money.
I know
A
what we
menu
could do at work,
of
everyone.
Ritz
We could serve
salad cream.
these.
No, you're not interested. Fine, I'll take my $1 million idea elsewhere. Fuck you.
It's still not as bad as eating Angel Delight with minstrels. I mean, you might as well just be using your hands. That's the worst thing.
Yeah.
Eat your fucking Angel Delight with a spoon, and then just have a packet of minstrels, or put the minstrels on the Angel Delight, but eat it with a spoon.
Is this come from a place of shame, George? Is this?
We've talked about this. No.
I have not heard this fucking before at all. Minstrels and Angel Delight.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to say about reality TV, dystopia or not?
No, we've covered the lot. I think tonight.
Are you a big fan? I bet you were a big fan of Watch Out Beatles About.
No, I was more of a RuPaul's Drag Race man myself.
Well, you were. Well, it's still on.
I know,
You're not into
but,
it anymore. After they changed the rules, you were more a RuPaul classic sort of
Yes,
guy.
yeah. I don't like this RuPaul extra fucking nonsense. No.
Ru-
Diet
RuPaul
RuPaul.
East Texas.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
no good. No bueno. It's RuPaul zero.
Yeah.
Zero sugar.
I watched the first RuPaul Drag Race.
Of course you did. You're a fucking whore
Yeah.
for that kind of shit.
I am.
I'm sure
It
you were
wasn't that
Yankee,
good.
you're cranky, fucking senseless as well for every moment.
I was. The lighting. Or, to quote Skylar, the look, the lips.
The hands, the eyes, the lips, the tits.
And what's the rest of it go like?
I fucking don't. I don't think I got that right, but I haven't heard that
You
shit.
know that I am on the microphone when you know that I'm on the microphone.
I'm fucking gonna jump on that shit like a sumo wrestler as soon as I get off the phone. I have to hear that now.
Yeah. The look, the lips, the hips, the tits, the hair, the eye, the skin, and the waist.
Yeah, but the thing is, well, people don't get. Yeah, sure, you know the lyrics, but you knew the moves as well, and you
I
would,
knew the moves, yeah.
and you would quite
And they're
happily
not
demonstrate
intuitive.
that to me as well.
It's like doing the Macarena, but the Birdie song's playing. It's a lot of skill.
It's a lot faster as well.
But what?
It's a lot faster as well. You really had to throw your body
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, it is. But you've got to do hip shake as well because Princess Superstar wasn't doing any hip shaking back then for whatever reason. So you've got to add your own.
Well, that's the alcohol you're seeing, so yeah. When we do it, we'd have to
Lack
spice
of.
it up, yeah.
It's when she was dry. Well, speaking of which, I guess I'm going to go and get sober. So thanks for listening.
Yeah, likewise.
Are we done?
We are done. Forever.
We're done. That's it. Could be. Here's hoping.
Time
Are
to
you
jump in
all?
front of a
I
train.
imagine.